Time's up. Have your own.
Here it comes.
Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome to another Anime Odyssey. It is that time of the month where we just weep out.
Wait, you're having your period?
You couldn't even let me get through the intro, could you?
No.
I hate everything about you. I do. I really do. And I'm still glad that I made you shave your face.
Yeah, I miss my beard.
Look at that dirt on his face right now. Isn't that great? Look at all that dirt. He can't wash it off. It's stuck there right now. Hail and howdy, everybody across all the chats. We're happy to have you here. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Listen, you guys are guaranteed fighting tonight. You're guaranteed fighting when we talk 91 days. You're guaranteed it. It's gonna be glorious. We're gonna have a good time, and then we're gonna talk. Listen, I was worried about what else we're gonna talk about, and then we get the very, very unfortunate news that Sony is eyeing a buyout, an absorption, a gobbling up of Kadokawa, one of the most important manga and anime distribution creators out there. So we're going to talk about that. First of all, Mr. Dirt on his face himself, Dermy Wormy. Hi, Dermy.
Hi. Yes, I'm Jeremy Bormy. I'm excited for tonight because I get to beat down Adam because he obviously doesn't like a superior anime. That is 91 Days. I find this anime to be beautiful and fantastic, and he's just objectively wrong. So,
Wow. I love that you live in these little worlds of delusion. It makes my life so much more fun when I crush you. It's going to be great. Yeah. How you doing otherwise?
I'm doing just fine. I'm here. I'm getting stuff done. Numbers are going up again a little bit. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's it's going like that for me.
And
Well.
we got our Orange King still leaning over us.
I don't want to know what you do with that. Just no. Anyway,
listen, I was more scared if stuff didn't go out, what I was going to do with it. Period.
Oh, you know what you're going to do with it.
Up.
We don't talk about what you're going to do with it anyway. And returning once again, Brandon, the anime guy, back for more of this nonsense. How you doing, Brandon? Welcome back to the show.
I am doing just fine. Just living the dream, having a little bit of soda, watching some anime when I can, and just been enjoying the out there. The salt has been flowing, and I've been laughing my ass off at all of it.
Yes.
Although I am very sad about the once great but now completely full of soy piss Soyoni trying to finish the job and knife us all. So yeah,
we're gonna get to that. While we obviously I buy Sony products. It is something I will support. Yeah, I am not a fan of corporations gobbling shit up. I am not a fan of that, and it never leads to anything good. But we'll get to that. That's our second topic. And once more, hail and howdy to everybody across all the chats. We are happy to have you here. Without you, we don't get to do this. So hit those like buttons, talk away, chat away, ignore us if you want, talk about whatever you want, and enjoy the show. Okay. Dermy gave me selections, and I was blindly able to choose 91 days for this month. And I am sorry I did. Dermy, why don't you walk us into this thing?
Well, because Adam's objectively wrong. 91 Days is a very simple mafia anime set in Prohibition America, in which you follow Angelo Lagusa. I actually have to have their names pulled up because I have a hard time remembering it. And his quest for revenge, basically, against the Venetti family after they murdered his family, after the Venetti family took over. Now, the interesting part about this anime is your real good guys and the characters you fall in love with is the Venetti family.
They're not good guys. None of them are good.
Just shut up. They're the people you fall in love with. They're the people you follow most of the time. They're the people who are supposed to die are the people you grow a connection to. You start enjoying. You start having a fun time. Nero being like the second main protagonist. You love him, and you know that at one point in time, Angelo is gonna have to kill all these people off, one after another. After your heart, connects with them and stuff, you see Angelo kill him off, and you also watch as Angelo basically loses his humanity and just becomes a cold, bitter individual that he just wants to kill everything. He has nothing else to live for other than killing these people.
You done?
Yikes! Yeah. That sounds rather harsh and cruel on so many levels.
Yeah,
I
love it.
Here's the thing. Angelo is about as one note as you can get as a protagonist. He has next to no character development. He has no ability to become attached to anything. Nero is a cuck and a wimp and a moron for the entire goddamn show. Angelo's plans are non-existent as he comes up with in a split second, and they usually fall apart every turn. This is one of the most underwhelming and completely shallow wannabe shows I have ever watched. I literally hated every minute of this. It was the most basic level storytelling you can get. Oh, I want to get vengeance on my family. And then his attempt to get the vengeance, while you think he's going to have some grand plan there is no grand plan. It's sidle up and wait for opportunities. Angelo is not smart. He's very lucky most of the time.
Yeah,
and there's nothing endearing about that. And he's supposed to be our protagonist.
He's not an endearing person. He's supposed to be your main character, but he's soulless. He's lifeless. All he wants to do is kill. He's the person on a quest for revenge, and he's just there doing stuff till he gets an opportunity to kill somebody. That's his sole objective.
Yeah, but
he never had a plan.
This could have been done with such depth.
Was because of another character.
This could have been done with such depth of actually watching him struggle, but he never struggles. Not until Glasses dude, who was his brother from another mother. Teo, thank you. Teo, not until he gets ganked. Teo had more character than anybody in this damn show.
Teo was the humanity connection for Angelo.
Yeah, but
Teo was Angelo's humanity.
But that's not good storytelling. It's not good storytelling.
You don't think it's good storytelling to watch as Teo gets pulled into this world by Angelo because Angelo just wants revenge, and you watch.
No, it is good storytelling because you have Teo crying half the time and then predictably zerging out over the what's his dude, the psychopath who took over. Fango, thank you, Fango. And that was so goddamn predictable when that was going to happen. You knew he was going to turn around and beat Fango to death with that phone. You knew it. It was going to happen.
You didn't.
Yes, you
Teo
did.
Doesn't.
You
did not know
so
Teo would do that.
Obvious. No, it was so obvious he was going to suffer a breaking point. It was.
You didn't know that he was going to do that because
there was nothing
Teo
unpredictable in this entire
time.
Show. Nothing was unpredictable.
Teo was constantly the passive person, always taking the brunt, being dragged around.
He was a ticking time bomb, and that's why it's not good. It was obvious he was going to explode. Brandy, you want to jump in here at all?
I have not seen this particular anime. I do have it on my watch list for the year 2016. So someone that I know said it was reasonable enough to view. It's not very long. And it definitely is set in a very different time and different era compared to most anime, especially for that time frame. And someone, let's see, Fabric Folds is saying it sounds like Do-Over Damsels. And let the hate flow through you.
I mean, also...
It looks interesting.
It was interesting, and it could have been so much better if it had been some sort of buddy thing between Nero and Angelo, and at some point a schism forms and this and that. This whole using the vengeance thing as a vehicle, it got old 3 episodes in when he kills the other guy in front of the grave, and then sloppy shit happens. He just leaves the body there and someone else picks it up. I mean, that is when I lost all respect for these characters. When it was that at that point, I'm thinking, okay, we're looking good here. He had a good plan. He killed the other dude. The what was that dude's name? I forget his name. The first dude he killed in front of the grave.
Oh, I know who you were talking about. Fuck, I can't remember his name because he's in there for only a split moment. I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He wore a suit the whole time, and when he was first introduced, he had a little mess. Yeah, he had a little mustache. Yeah. He had a thing for Fio Vanetti, who was the daughter,
the sister who we get barely anything of, and then does a very critical moment later on where she ganks her husband, who was from the bigger family over in Chicago, and we're supposed to feel like she made this crucial choice, but she was barely in the freaking show.
Well, that decision was Angelo forcing her to do that. Remember, there was a letter, and there he manipulated
Yes, but it's
her.
meaningless because she's barely in the show, so we have no connection, or we're not inside her head at all. We have no real tangible vehicle through which to ride out her emotions.
She loves her family. She married Alaska for the family.
How about we do this? Since I have no anythings on this, why don't we watch a preview of this particular one? I've got it here. If you'll share my screen, we can check it out. And
how long is it?
Let's see what we're.
Let's
see. So we'll do.
All right, just pause.
We'll do this one here.
Pause it at proper intervals so we don't get a hit. And, I don't have to say we're going to hear it here. The dub is atrocious.
That doesn't surprise me. That part
terrible.
doesn't surprise me.
It was
That's
terrible.
fine.
That
It
was
sounds
terrible.
weird because they're doing the timeline.
Their fake mafioso accents are horrific.
I love it.
They're
It's
horrific.
cheesy in all the right ways.
It's horrific.
cheesy in all the
It's
right
Then
ways.
should we listen to it in Japanese?
No. If I had to suffer it, everybody else has to suffer it.
I love it. I love it.
Go. Let's go.
All right, let's see how this is. Let's take a listen here. What would you do? I don't know.
Delete this from my brain. That's what I do. See, now it starts off hardcore. It starts off hardcore where where Angelo watches his entire family get murdered by what he assumes is 3 people. It turns out it's 4. Also predictable. Who the 4th person was?
No, it fucking wasn't.
2 episodes before it happened, I realized what was going on. That the uncle was involved. Because he was so adamant about so many things, and then the opposite on other things. He was so hot and cold on stuff. I was like, okay, he knows way more than's going on. And then when it was revealed that he was the 4th guy, completely predictable. So he watched his entire family get slaughtered because of a regime change going on in the Venetti family. And he manages to escape, and he only escapes because Nero couldn't pull the trigger. Go.
Let's continue on. Oh boy.
As of this moment, you and I are brothers.
Really?
Yeah. He
They're-
goes to Teo, who
He goes to Teo, who was his childhood friend, after his family was murdered and he got away.
Yeah, he runs away, and it's like we're gonna be brothers. And then he leaves right away, and Teo grows up to be the king of the making of the moonshine because he's the bestest moonshine man in the world.
Well, he's not the king. He's just able to make
I'm
good
being
moonshine.
sarcastic, you dick.
He makes the best moonshine. He's living in slums, and
Bestest moonshine
Angelo
ever.
utilizes that to actually get ahead.
Yeah.
Lawless heaven.
Let's continue the preview here then.
Angelo? Where you been for the past 7 years?
Virgilio Bruno. That's what I go by now.
How far would you go?
Well, he wants to go all the way, but he has no plan. One plan. I have to cozy up to Nero because it's the only way I can get to the Don. But the Don is barely in the goddamn show, and when he is finally, it's as though this show didn't know what it wanted to do. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
You strike me as the honest type. Good.
For the record, it's a lot complicated.
You don't say.
How many would you kill?
Well,
All of them.
A lot of people get killed. I mean,
He
gets lucky.
He fucking killed the other Don that ended up causing an entire war, killing the entire Venetti
Yeah, he
family.
causes a war because he lucked into it. That wasn't even the original plan. He just took advantage of the situation.
Yeah, do you ever think a plan goes all the way through perfectly? He got lucky. Yeah, guess what? Okay, my plan's not working the way it is. Oh, I could kill you and 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's go.
Sounds like we need a colony drop. Does anybody have a colony drop?
No.
I do, but I don't have it. I can't load it. I can't play it. Otherwise, we'd have a colony drop. But let's continue on with the preview here.
Virgilio Bruno. I gotta say, it's nice to meet you.
Blood is thicker than water.
It's kill or be killed. Blade's got nothing on
Oh
me.
god,
kidding me.
it's the Mexican
I had
was
a kid
so
brother like him.
retarded.
Okay, I'll give you this. The Mexican was
That
just an
was so
assassin.
stupid. I mean, how many blows could that guy take? This isn't exactly a super powered show where people are superhuman. I mean,
Didn't you see
All right,
how
all
strong
right.
the guy was? They did establish that he was extremely strong.
Yes,
and
but it
capable,
was-
But that whole episode wasn't about the Mexican dude.
I
It was
know
about Angelo and Nero actually becoming buddies.
yeah, they're real buddies. It was poorly portrayed. Oh, here, want to get a pineapple? Oh, I'm gonna eat it anyway. Oh, it's so delicious. Oh. Go.
They're on a long trip together as Angelo's protecting Nero. They're growing closer together. They're camping outside
They
together.
do
They're
a
spending
horrible
time
job
together.
of showing them grow closer together because Angelo has no emotion. He has no character development, no growth, no
'cause
ability
he's
to show up
soulless.
anything. He's not soulless. He's just...
He's dead inside. He just cares about killing.
And that's why this is a boring character, because there's nothing to him. And having his emotions being acted out by other people is not good storytelling.
Let's finish the preview here. Here we go.
Once. I should introduce you to him sometime.
Were you really?
I was born Angelo. You murdered my father. Testa Lagusa.
Yeah.
Well, that is what that is.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
I love it.
All right, they do. Here's how retarded the whole storytelling is. You go through the whole story, and they tease certain prequel events, certain backstory events, and then the final episode is a giant flashback episode featuring mostly people who
I
were
said
dead
you
for...
didn't need. I said you didn't need that last.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, you didn't need 13 because 13 is just supplemental.
I go right there. I'm like, oh my God, you're making me. I didn't watch it. I literally fast forward. I'm like, I can't watch this. I cannot watch this.
When I first watched it, it was like, oh, here's a big backstory episode of them in Italy. I don't need that. I thought it was going to be something else. The show, the proper ending is episode 12. You don't need 13. 13 is just supplemental. It's not really purpose. The show ends with Nero taking the shot, but also that you don't know if he truly kills him. It's implied that he might have. You never know that.
Yeah,
let's
end ambiguity onto this to make it even worse.
But if he did kill him, that's him finally taking the shot that he should have taken at the very beginning.
Oh, symmetry!
And if he didn't kill him, that's him actually just letting go and moving on because he has nothing.
All right, Legatus.
He's always going to be hunted. He's always going to be potentially killed.
This takes place over 91 days. It takes place over a 3-month period. That's why it's called 91 days. It's from beginning to end, 91 days. Yeah, but see, I don't feel sorry for Nero. He's a son of a bitch too. He's not a hero.
Why do you hate Nero?
Because he's a crappy person, and
Why?
he's reckless, and he does. And what he does,
he is reckless.
He's reckless. He doesn't think, and he doesn't really. He cares more about protecting people he doesn't know than protecting his family. He doesn't know Angelo. That's why it's so stupid. Their bonding doesn't actually. It's not really good bonding. It's shallow bonding. The fact that he trusts him so much is ridiculous.
Well, no, he trusts him because Angelo was there through so many of the events, was always the go-getter, was always the dude that was willing to go do something. So Nero built a bond with Angelo.
It's a shallow
connection. Bond. How is it shallow when he's the one that goes to every main event and is willing to go do the dirty work for Nero?
Because doing the dirty work is doing the dirty work, but he doesn't listen to the people who actually know him and care about him. Dude with the glasses, he scoped that shit out the whole time, and Nero's turning a blind eye to him. You listen to the people who are your
because he's blindsided. He only cares about the killing. Teo was dragged along the whole time, but Teo
Nero. I'm talking about Nero, not Angelo. Nero.
Yeah. What? Nero's dealing with his family issues.
No, Nero. Okay, I'm going to repeat what I said. I think you misunderstood what I just said. I think you misunderstood, so I'm going to repeat myself. Nero, remember that his what essentially his consigliere, the glasses dude, the blonde glasses dude.
Oh yeah.
Nero ignores him the whole time, and he scoped out Angelo from the beginning, and he said, "Don't trust him." And Nero, as a fool, doesn't listen to the people closest to him the whole time. And because Angelo was there at key moments that Angelo set up half the time, barely set up. Yes, does it work for a storytelling purposes? Oh, yes, he falls into Angelo's traps. Yeah, it works. But in the end, it's a shallow connection. And you're talking about how Nero cares so much about his family. He ignores everybody in his family. He doesn't listen to anybody in his real family.
Dealing with shit. Did you not actually?
The glasses dude. The glasses dude
Glasses
is his
dude
family.
wasn't his family. Wasn't his
Yes,
immediate
he's
family.
like a
He
brother to
cared
him.
More,
that counts.
he cared
that
more
counts.
about his immediate family, and within his immediate family, he was dealing with the Galactians
His
trying
brother,
to take over.
his brother and his sister. The sister that's ever there, and the little brother who, yes, that's an interesting story arc to it. The little brother tries a little coup action, and which forces Nero to go on the run and Angelo to protect him, and them to get drawn together. But it's not tight. It's loose. And for him to ignore the people who he has trusted most his entire life for a dude he literally knew for 2 weeks doesn't make sense.
It was more than 2 weeks, but and remember what happened when they first met each other was in the middle of a big disaster. You had Fango, whatever the fuck his name, already trying to kill him when they first met each other. Yeah. And then Angelo's there trying to save him. Angelo's there in those serious moments and Nero is connecting with him. Nero is bonding with him. And also the reason Nero stepped away from the family was because of the Galacia situation, was because he felt like his father was not being a strong
He didn't step away. He ran away because they told him to run, otherwise he was going to get killed. And it was the only way to soften the hot situation.
No. He originally stepped away from his family and turned away from his family because he was thinking that his father was expecting somebody else to take care of the business for him, expecting other people to do it. Remember that serious conversation at the wedding that he had with his father. He said, God helps those who help themselves. So he steps away from his family, is willing to go do hard work on his own and build an entire empire around Lawless Heaven to build up the stuff to prove his father. That's what leads the Galacia to start taking more hold of the Venetti family, which leaves the brother to be under control, being drugged the whole time. And his sister is now married to the Galacia. His whole family is basically being held hostage by the Galacias. He has no way to do anything. So that's why he goes off and does his own thing, building up an empire, having the connection to Angelo, who has the connection to Lawless Heaven.
He came back. All of that happened after he came back.
Not after he came back.
The wedding happened after he came back. Being off, pretending to be somebody else, trying to sell the booze to the dude in Lawless. I mean, on the island.
That was another time that he was doing this, but he stepped away from his family at the wedding.
It was after the wedding. He came back.
No, it was
that.
at the wedding.
No, you're talking about two different events here. You're describing events that happened off camera.
You're not following me.
Because you're not making any sense. You're combining two different events.
No. You're taking two different events and trying to combine them together. At the wedding. Okay, at the wedding is when Nero sat down with his father.
Yeah.
He told his father,
I want to kill Fango.
He told his father, God helps those who helps themselves. We need
to
take care of Fango.
I'm going to go kill Fango.
Take care of Orgo.
Yeah.
We need to go do this. I'm also going to build up the Lawless Heaven Empire. And they end up taking care of it.
They didn't take care of it. He fucked it up and had to go on the run. They missed Fango. They missed Fango. They missed him. He got away, and then Fango took over.
Out his other partner. Fango didn't take over until after they teamed up with Fango to take out Orko.
But Fango ends up. Fango had already been building an establishment on his own because he got away. He was already gaining more power. During that interim is when the missed attempt, when Angelo and Nero go on their little buddy mission.
Use that to their advantage.
And that's not advantage. They didn't do anything advantage in that.
Fango being now the enemy to Orko because Orko was going to take out Fango to build strength in order to take on the Galacia.
None of it worked.
It all worked. What are you talking about?
It all fell apart in stages.
Died.
They got lucky at the end.
They didn't get lucky at the end.
It was all bullshit. That's why the narrative was all bullshit. They did get lucky at the end.
Like the Orko death. How's getting Orko killed lucky? That was
working with Fango at that point is luck because Fango's a psychopath, and they set it up, and they barely pulled that off. The whole poison in the wine thing, they barely. But dude almost died in the barrel. They got lucky. They
wanted that. They wanted that whole plan. They specifically show you wanting that whole plan. That was the plan.
Yeah, I can highlight the chat. Yeah. We normally don't because of stuff like this.
I would highlight it if I could, but it doesn't have. I don't have it, but some of the chat's been pretty good. When it goes to a show, from what I'm hearing, I'm basically hearing two completely different shows being described to me from the two of you. That's a little strange to me because that normally doesn't happen. I don't normally hear this type of A-B when it goes to a show. So I'm curious about it.
It's happened to Adam and I before.
Okay.
Yeah,
It has happened to us before.
Yeah, this is not unusual for this. I promise Bloodsport tonight. You guys are getting it. All right, I promise Bloodsport.
Shum doesn't see waifus, and Shum was nice enough to tell us this. I am Whoopi, Adam is Sunny, and Dermy is Alyssa.
I saw that.
Damn it, I'm not Whoopi Goldberg. One, I'm not black, and two, I'm not sassy enough.
Okay, he said it, not me. I can't be called the racist one.
Hashtag cancel Dermy.
No, that's true. I've already pissed off Black Twitter enough.
Black Twitter doesn't really care about you.
It looks interesting enough, but I don't know. The preview, the English dub wasn't. It's mid 2010s. It's okay. It's nothing special, but yeah, there's definitely a very distinct lack of waifus.
Yeah,
there's
no wife. It's a drama.
Yeah, there's no
waifus. It's all subterfuge, dark storytelling.
The artwork
and
is
drama.
nice. What females you get in it look good, but there's no. There's only buddy relationships in this.
To Adam's complaint about the voice acting, I do have to say this. Fiona, shut the fuck up. Your voice is so grating and annoying. I never want to hear it again. Everybody else I liked. It's Fiona, the sister Vanetti. Shut the fuck up. Your voice is so annoying and too high pitched.
I'm borrowing a line from Singing in the Rain because that's the only tone I can get to it. Can't stand ya. That's essentially what
Can't stand ya, huh?
Can't stand ya.
So I don't know what Dreaming Boy and a Realist is, so I can't tell you if it's better or worse.
I don't know what that is either, Veritax. I do not know what that is, but there's a lot.
It's better, just so you can go watch 91 Days. You'll like it.
Listen. What part of what we do here is we talk about this. If you haven't watched it, it is then your choice to go watch it based upon our discussion. And of course, there have been spoilers because we can't have a real discussion without spoilers. But it's a. Oh, hang on a second. I just noticed this on my side. Hold on a second. It is in my chat. Let me go back to it so I can highlight it. Yeah, fuck you, Mario Lopez. Okay.
Mario Lopez, he definitely needs some help.
There's lore to that. Just real quick, on a quick aside, we were playing Starship Troopers Extermination last Friday. Me, Horny Alf, Dom H, and Weasel, and there was somebody's handle was Mario Lopez. And he abandoned me during the fight, left me to die, could have rezzed me like 3 times, didn't do it. And then at the very end, when everybody was wiped out, he was the only goddamn asshole that made it on the dropship to get away. So, fuck you, Mario Lopez. Fuck you, Izzy Slater. It's on my gaming channel. You can go watch that stream from last Friday. It's on Alf's channel, too. It was a lot of fun. And all kinds of shit happens like that. Hey, look, even Dermy has earned his citizenship at this point. Dermy's finally earned citizenship.
Listen, I hated that stupid game because it wasn't running on my PC. Then they patched it, and it's like, oh my god, I kind of want to go back and play.
Oh, we're going back.
I know we're doing Among Us this Saturday, but at the same time, I'm like,
we're going back. We keep going back. There's more to do.
So that's the story of Mario Lopez. He could have rezzed you, but he was like, fuck you, and walked away.
Could have. He stood right there. He had plenty of time. It would have been helpful to get me back up because that's what you do during the game. But no, he just danced around me, moved on, and kept shooting what left me to die. So,
Adam, I do want you to know that if we're at the dropship and you're down, I will leave you to die.
Yeah, who's gonna be back? Dom H, the Patriot, will always save me, as will Kel.
I'll shoot him too.
I don't need you to save me.
And I will warn Kel.
Bitch. F you.
Oh,
right,
that's
anyway,
funny.
back to 91 days.
Back to 91 days, which is a beautiful anime.
We've cooled down a little bit, so let's resume. All right, Dermy, why don't you take us into another angle of this so we can fight some more?
Another angle?
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is your show. You gotta guide us through this.
Okay. Well, I mean, I pretty much laid down the entire plot. It's a revenge tale. You follow it. You do build on some characters, and towards the end, you start building a little bit more on Angelo Vanetti. No, not Angelo Vanetti. Vincent Vanetti, who is the main guy, and you find out that he was actually friends with Testa Lugusa, who was the
Was Angelo's
father and the family and father and family to Angelo Lugusa, and he said that he specifically killed him because he was worried that with him being around, with the ledger and stuff being around, that the Venettis were just going to crush him. He was scared. He was worried.
He was double dealing.
Yeah, he was double dealing. And at the same time, he specifically said that Testa Lugusa was his closest friend and confidant. He cared about that dude. Yeah. And he hated having to do this. And he's constantly haunted with his decision.
And they didn't do that to like the second to last episode. So there's zero buildup for that. We didn't spend any time with Don Venetti. We didn't do anything to build up his character. We did nothing to make us actually hate him other than the fact that he pulled the trigger and killed Testa. And
You're
therefore
not
his
supposed to hate
regret.
him.
Yes, you are supposed to hate him. He killed him. He killed a man. He killed his best friend. How do you not hate that?
You're taking this from the wrong direction.
Oh, I take this from the wrong direction. I'm supposed to take it from the direction you want me to take it from.
You're supposed to like Venetti.
Why?
The Venetti family is the people you
They're not good
to.
people. They're trash.
Not good people.
Because they're trash. They are. It's built upon a foundation of betrayal. Instantly, but because they murdered Testa out of the gate, the opening scene of the show, you are supposed to be geared towards not liking them because Nero is charismatic. You're supposed to like him.
System. That's how you're taking. No, you are supposed to like the Venetti.
Why
family.
is it a good thing to like them because he killed Testa?
Family.
Why is that a good thing?
You're supposed to like the Venetti family. You're supposed to connect.
The show does a good job of that.
You're supposed to feel bad when the characters die because that's how the show is actually being angled. Yes, you're supposed to be rooting for Angelo the entire time because he's taking revenge, but they do the work to make you care for each character and go like, oh shit, I actually like these guys. I don't want them to die.
What's to like about them? All right, tell me what's to like about them. All they do is bitch and moan and complain about how
kind and actually try to
show me kind. Show me kind because you're nice to the stooge you brought along on the liquor run. Is that kind?
You're actually kind to everyday people. You're actually showing kindness to these people. You're actually connecting to these people. They show the Venetti family is actually loved in the city. They are actually cared about. That is a huge point of thing within Lawless. They are connected to the people, and people like the Venetti family.
Give me examples.
Examples when you see Nero out on the streets being connected with all the people surrounding
him and
all the kids.
Nero. They like Nero. That doesn't translate to liking the Venetti.
No.
They like Nero because he's a charismatic guy.
To the family.
That has nothing to do with the family.
That leads people to liking the family. People like the family.
You're
they even say that. No. They even say it in the show. The Venetti family is the well-liked family. The FBI agent, the Prohibition agent, specifically says the Venetti family is the liked family. That is going to be the hard family to take down. They specifically
I missed that line.
say it in the show.
I missed that. Okay, I missed that line. But the show doesn't do a good job of doing that because charismatic, being nice to people, that does not generate connection. At least it didn't with me. It makes me annoyed because I'm looking at horrible people who are still criminals. This isn't like watching the, I'll go with Corleone family from Godfathers. I'm like watching the Corleones, who I know are also bad people, but watching Michael Corleone get dragged into a horrible situation and try to do right by his family, try to save his family, being forced to do horrible things. That's not what you get out of this. I get a fake charismatic.
That is Nero's whole thing.
No, it is not Nero. Nero does bad things because he wants to do bad things in the end, because he wants to get his father's approval. That's what he
already has his father's approval. He wants.
He doesn't know that though. He doesn't know that. He thinks he's.
No, he does know that.
Not till the end. Not till the end.
He's always known that he's had his father's approval. His own brother says, "You've had father's approval."
That's the brother telling him. Nero doesn't know that. The brother telling him doesn't mean Nero knows that.
Everybody knows this. Even the uncle says, "You have father's approval." Everybody knows you have the approval.
But Nero doesn't know it. That's the point. That's why he keeps doing things. He even says, I keep doing all these things to try and get his respect and approval. He says that.
He's doing it for the family and because he cares about the family.
Right,
and you're also talking about
hold on one
monsters.
Ariel, no. Quiet.
No, Ariel.
No, Ariel.
No.
Bad
Adam's
Ariel.
retarded right now.
No,
He's talking
Jeremy's
about how,
retarded.
I can't like bad guys because they're
No,
monsters.
it's not about
they're
not liking bad
monsters.
guys. It's about liking douchebags. These are all douchebags
How
who
are
have
they
no
douchebags?
character. Just I'm charismatic, or I'm slick, or I'm loyal to this guy. They get no development.
They do get development. You find out who they are. You even find out, oh my gosh, the uncle, Gonzo. Gonzo is a kind dude. But then they specifically say,
Gonzo's not a kind
shut the fuck
dude.
up.
Gonzo's a power monger. He wants to grab power for himself.
Will you fucking listen to me for God's sakes? He was kind at the beginning. Then you have a specific moment where Nero goes like, yeah, it's kind of weird how my uncle has been warming up to you and stuff. And usually he doesn't care about newcomers. He does all this stuff. And you go like, wait, what's going on here? And then you discover, yeah, he's just a power monger. He cares about power. He's been showing up, putting on a happy face, a kind face, being very cordial to Angelo because he cares one's power. And he's using Nero and Angelo to get power. That's all he is. He's a power groper.
And he
power guy.
He wasn't.
And he shows that.
And yeah, but up until the nice guy, that wasn't endearing. That was not endearing.
He
That was
specifically was trying
unengendering.
to stop the fighting between
And
the
it
brother and Nero.
was obvious
How was it obvious? How?
because he's a gruff asshole. And his whole
So?
persuasion, it didn't fit when you see him at
There's
negotiating
gruff
tables.
assholes that are always
No,
kind
when you
in
see him
anime.
at the negotiating stuff earlier, and then suddenly he's welcoming to Angelo, it didn't fit. It was obvious.
He's negotiating when he needs to negotiate, and when he's dealing with other people,
You're reading into it. You're reading it into it.
I'm not reading into it. I'm telling you what the show shows you. You're the one not wanting to accept it.
No, not wanting to accept it. The show lays everything out. There's no mystery to any of this. Most of the way through, things become obvious. You know when they're going to win. You know when they're going to fail. You know who's going to turn on somebody. You know who's going to break. You know who's going to commit the murder. You know who's not going to commit the murder. You know who's going to escape. It all becomes obvious, and that's why one of the reasons it isn't entertaining. There's no twists. Everything is predictable, and these characters are not in. Characters are not endearing. They're not good. They're shallow. They're one note.
How are they one note?
I'm
build on
charismatic.
people.
I'm troubled.
Seriously, no. You have Nero specifically say that I have an issue. Okay, I have an issue. I fucked up that first mission. I let that kid go.
Yeah,
and that's
his
haunts
backstory.
me.
Oh,
yeah,
and
it haunts him.
That's not
And he
deep.
tries to do good.
Doesn't try to do good.
He tries to do good by the family.
That's two different things. Trying to do good and trying to do good by the family are two different things.
No, you have to remember this is a mob story. So doing good is doing good by the family.
No,
these are completely different things.
Doing good by the family works if you are a good character. He's not a good character. He's not a good character. I'm charismatic, but I'm haunted. That's it. Oh, you betrayed me. Oh, I'm going to forgive you. Oh, I'm blind to everything around me. I'm not listening to the people that are close to me because I met a dude for a couple of weeks. Went on a road trip and ate canned pineapples and fought a Mexican. The relationships are
you keep boiling down the story to these very
because the relationships are not solid.
You're not even talking about like the road trip, them spending time together, them actually
because it's a
boring
ass
them
road
trying
trip.
to entertain kids, them trying to do other stuff.
Because I'm going to connect it to when I learned to juggle. I'm going to learn to juggle about the other I learned to juggle from the other character who you already killed. I don't feel sympathetic to you killing that guy because he was a jerk too. Because it's boring, Dermy. It's all boring storytelling. That's why it's
boring. No. You're the one who's bored by this. You somehow magically found out that Gonzo was the traitor the entire time.
I said
I can't figure.
I said 2 episodes before it. I realized it was him. Maybe one episode before.
Are you able to do that? Because they don't show you that.
As soon as I saw somebody holding Teo hostage, I said it's either Gonzo or one of the other dudes. Like it's one of the dudes close to the family.
That's
not
the
Gonzo,
episode
the
you
uncle.
find out.
That was the episode before.
No, that's the episode you find out. The moment you see Teo being held hostage is the episode you find out.
Well, then I still figured it out before the reveal because it was obvious in that moment.
Well, yeah, that's holy shit. So you're saying you found out before they even told you, which is 2 episodes before, which couldn't be possible. Now
Listen,
you're saying in the episode that it happens.
All right,
the
Jeremy, I watched this a week. I watched it a week ago. I may be blending the episodes, okay? It's been a week since I watched this. I didn't watch it right up to the letter today.
No, shut the literal fuck up.
What?
You say the episode where they start hinting at who the reveal is. We're going to start dropping the hints on who the reveal is. That's the episode where you figure out who the reveal is. They tell you who the reveal is, and you're like, oh, I figured out who the reveal is.
I figured it out before the reveal.
Who the reveal is.
Well, of course, but I figured it out as soon as they start dropping hints.
You're supposed to figure it out in that goddamn episode.
But it's obvious.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Holy
I think
fuck.
How can it be a big reveal if it's obvious?
They're starting to leave you hints on who it is. They start leading you down a path, and then they reveal it. You figured it out.
Yeah, but if you realize...
Shocker. You did what the show wanted you to do. Holy
the show didn't want you to do it. The show doesn't... If you want to reveal some good mystery, you lay out a good mystery. There's no mystery in your murder mystery.
Who's number 4? Who's number 4? Who's number 4? Oh, we're going to start leading down the breadcrumbs. We're going to show you Tails being
the breadcrumbs were pathetic.
Oh my God!
Were
right
obvious.
Before the reveal, you figured out who they were going to reveal. Shocker! Right before the reveal. Holy crap!
Yes, I figured it out.
No, you're
because
retarded.
They did a shit job of it.
No.
A good reveal is a good reveal is a shock. Not oh my God, here it is.
The moment they started leading you down a path. Halfway down the path, you figured it out. It's like, oh wow, okay,
because
it shouldn't leading you to.
You shouldn't if it's a mystery, a surprise, they shouldn't be broadcasting it. That's my criticism.
They're not broadcasting it. You don't know. You said you had 2 guesses. You had 2 guesses when you saw somebody who held him hostage. Oh, who is it? Who is it?
It was somebody in the family.
That's the point. You know it's somebody in the family at that point. So you have to walk it down. Who is it in the family? You've always known it's somebody in the family. Who is it in the family? Who is it?
You didn't know. You didn't always know.
Yeah, no, you had to have known. It had to have been somebody on that job.
Early on, they try and hint you that person might be dead. They try to throw you a red herring early on. Yeah, they did. They try to throw a red herring early on that somebody might be dead. Until Angela goes, "Oh, it must be the 4th person who sent me the note."
No.
Yes.
Well, you don't know who sent the note. You're correct there. And then they find out there's a 4th person. Who the fuck's the 4th person? He was wondering even if it could be somebody in the like one of the original 3 people. But then you find out it's a 4th person. Okay, 4th person. Then you start building on. When you get to that episode, they start laying out the breadcrumbs of who it could be. Once
it's pathetic.
No,
that's my point.
You specifically say the moment they show you, hey, it's somebody with a gun, you know that it's somebody in the family. Yeah, because they're telling you it's somebody in the family. Once they show you they specifically said it was somebody in the family at that point. It had to have been somebody in the family at that point. And it's like, oh, shocker, it's somebody in the family. I wonder who it is. Oh, here's another little hint. Oh, I figured it out. Oh, okay, you did what we wanted you to do.
That's not what you want. It's bad storytelling to me. That's my overall point. You can minutia this all you want. It's done poorly.
No.
It's not good.
You're just connecting the dots they wanted you to connect.
Because they do a shit job of it. If the show would have been better if they had just surprised you and not let a pathetic breadcrumb that leaves no actual resolution. It's like, oh, it's Gonzo, yay. It was because there's no enjoyment figuring out a giant turn. There's more enjoyment in being surprised, and the show fails in its storytelling. This is one example that I'm just saying it fails in its storytelling.
By the way, to the Brandon guys, I'm sorry. I know we're arguing over here, and Brandon just has to sit back and relax.
Brandon didn't watch it, so he can't argue with us.
I was looking at the chat and go like, oh, well, he can't really mediate the argument if he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
I did take a poll, and of the poll, I asked, "Is 91 Days good?" 60% said no.
I fucking hate you, Adam. I fucking hate you so goddamn much.
What? It's not my channel. It's his channel.
No, it's always your fucking channel. It's always your fucking fault. I'm blaming you.
This is a completely neutral poll. These are
all
not
right.
my
You, because
subscribers. These are Brandon's
you're over here
subscribers.
just like
This
shit-
isn't
you're
my
just over
chat.
here
This is
shitting on
Brandon's
it the
chat.
entire time, and it's like nothing you're saying
No.
is accurate. And then you're like,
Oh, it's
my God,
accurate.
I
It's just
figured it
not
out.
you're
Okay.
accurate.
No, you're like, oh
It's
my God,
my
they figured it out.
perspective.
I figured out the riddle.
Well, I
I
did.
figured out who the murderer is when they were telling you who the murderer is. Oh my
Then
God,
it's
shocker!
bad narrating. It's bad narrative.
How is it bad narrating?
Because
you
it should
figured
be
it
a
out
surprise.
when They
You
were
should-
telling you who it was.
Yes, they basically do, and it's obvious. That's my point. It shouldn't be
So when
obvious.
they're telling you who it was, they're like, "Oh my God, I figured it out."
We need to move on.
That's what it is. That's
Wow.
what it is for you.
Listen, no. My point is, you can take away my new show. You can twist my words all you want. I could twist your words all you want. Point is, and yes, I said it that way on purpose. Point is, it's a bad narrative storytelling discussion. That's my point. They don't do it well. Among other poor narrative choices in this show, which leads it to be shallow and not deep.
The only poor narrative choice I could agree with you is the last episode because I don't like how they start doing everything out of order.
What you mean the
And I'm
flashback?
talking about episode 12 in particular, not 13, because I don't really.
Oh.
count 13.
You mean the jumping
when they
around.
when they start jumping around, because
Oh,
I did not like that. Because
I don't need to know that he went back and got another can of pineapples for him. I didn't need to know that. It doesn't change anything.
Well, that it wasn't the pineapple thing. It was the we're here now. We're here now. We're gonna go back there to figure out how they got here. And
Well,
then we're gonna do that's
my point.
That's
It's like
that's
it's extra buddy stuff that at this point, clearly in the show, I am not sold on their relationship at all as friends. So adding one more scene is not going to endear me to them at all at this point. And Arrow, you know that's never going to happen. You know that's never going to happen.
I mean, there's somebody coming with a Bible Black review.
Coming with or coming on?
At least anime. It was a bad pun, especially because she did say coming, not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, somebody is obviously coming with that review,
Yeah, and she probably has a dick.
more than likely.
Futa!
There's Bible Black, everybody.
Yeah.
Please, we've been around the block long enough. We all know what Bible Black is. All right.
Yes.
Anyway.
Do you know Boku no Pico?
I've avoided that one. You guys
Good.
tried to. We had.
No,
we
I'll
had that
never
discussion.
try to get you to
No,
watch
no,
that
no.
thing.
I know
That
that,
is
but
a disturbing thing.
we've had that discussion. Listen, I've seen
we
my
have?
fair share of horrible shit and happy stuff. Okay, and I don't need any more.
No,
on the
Boku
bad
no
side of
Pico needs to be burned in the pits of hell.
Yeah.
And if you like that thing, you also need to be burned in the pits of hell.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me happy that I haven't seen it,
I-
and I've only heard about it just once in the past
I
lifetime. So
I only
yeah,
heard about it the last time Dermy brought it up. So
Listen, I'm one of those sick bastards that when people tell me not to do something, I have to go and do it, and I regret my life choices.
hey, Jeremy, what do you call this? What do you call this?
Card Captor Sakura.
No, what do you call it?
It's Card Captor Sakura.
What do you call it?
I can't say what I call it.
All right, Brandon. Dermy has a special.
You can
phrase.
say no. You also started saying it as well. So
No,
you can also call-
I just
no,
joked
no,
about
no,
it. 'cause
no,
I-
You were on the stream. You were on the stream, and you.
yeah,
also
that's because I was doing it to annoy Gal. I don't give a
you
crap
can
either
do
way.
that.
I'm allowed to do that. No, UFC. Gal really loves this show. She really loves Card Captor Sakura, and Dermy had a special name for it. And in order to get Gal to look at his DMs again, he has to agree not to call it by its special name anymore that he has for it on any stream that she can see or anywhere that she has access.
What the hell did you say about that show?
I'm typing in the name
okay.
in the private chat because I can't call it.
Yeah, he's not allowed to.
I
All
can't
right,
call it.
we've
That's
been
funny. I have to
been
admit that is funny.
we've been yelling at each other about this. So
And we also, yeah. and also
I
check-
think let's move on because Brandon can't be here much longer. So if we want to yell
Yeah.
about it more, we can come back to it.
Oh, we will. We'll probably yell about it tomorrow night, even.
Yeah, whatever.
I can see why you can't say that anymore, but that it's still funny.
Oh,
Yeah, I
he can
can't-
say it.
I can say it, but it's do I
gonna-
take the risk?
He's-
Because I can say it where she's not gonna be. and
She will
can't
likely
see it.
watch this stream. Is the problem? Gal will likely
Yeah.
watch this at some point.
I
in the
can
next-
I can see that.
No, he
but,
can say it. He just can't say it where she can read it or hear it. That's the thing. Because then she'll stop looking at his DMs again. And he
Yeah,
needs to
so
talk
Among
to her
Us.
because she is the. Oh, we can do.
Oh wait. Shit, no.
All right. Anyway. All right.
I
So
almost thought I could say it. I can't say it there either because of Cloud. Fuck it.
Cloud will rat you out in a second. He will rat
Well, if you
out.
can't say it, then just don't worry about it. Just can't.
Oh, I'll
say
keep
it.
trying to get him to say something. All right, so 91 days. There is no. We're completely divided on this. I don't recommend
say
it.
go
Dermy
watch
does.
it.
I don't recommend it.
love it.
Dermy does. All right. So last time Brandon couldn't make it, so I wanted to have his take on the summer season of anime shows.
Yes.
And I was so pleasantly surprised by the summer season. There were a couple, and like the very last show that I watched, because I had watched everything I was really keened in on, had my surprises, this and that, and the very last one I did watch, because I'm like, okay, I need one more thing to watch, film this. This show looks okay. The last things I come to are maybe like the rom-coms or the semi-romance stuff like that, where it might be silly, might be fun, it might be great. And the last one that I watched turned out to be one of my favorites. Alia says her feelings in Russian.
Yeah,
That turned out to be
Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. That was way better than I thought it was
that
going to
was
be.
so surprisingly good, and it's got a lot of source material. I'm hoping they come back for a season 2. But
Actually, I do have some news for you. If you'll share my screen.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I started with. I wanted to watch the second core of Nier Automata, but since I hadn't finished the first one, it's on perpetual pause. I did try and watch My Dear Friend Nokotan. It was funny for about 3 episodes, and then it's just like, really? The funniest thing about it is still the exploding antler. That's still the funniest
I didn't
thing.
watch one.
All I'm going to say is,
I saw the clips.
yeah, it's very non sequitur in a lot of ways, but it got super repetitive. But it was very hot there for about 6 weeks. I parry everything
I like
I
this
got
one.
through.
It was simple but nice.
I got through half of it, and I'm like, I've seen this before. I'm okay. It's all right. If you've got nothing else to watch,
It's your
it's
standard. I'm the dude who doesn't realize I'm super powerful. It's your standard shit like that, and it was okay.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't turn it off. I went the full way, and it was. I'll never rewatch it again, but it was nice. It was nice, little, simple, kill your time.
Yeah, it is. And as I said, I went through half, and I'm okay if I don't finish it. Grandizer You, I like the idea of it, but it didn't feel like it was. It feels like it was misrated. I think it was rated only like TV PG, and it shows. And it needed to be rated more TV 14, because we got 2 of the biggest names in old school 70s mecha. Grandizer U and oh shit, what's the other one? Anyways, it's got the 2.
Yeah, I see it there.
Manziger
I know
and
you're-
Grandizer.
Yeah.
It should have been better than it was. It was okay. I got through 2 episodes. I think the other problem was it didn't get picked up in this country. So
I was looking at it, but in the end, I decided to not give it a look.
yeah, if you really like mecha, yeah, you're gonna like it. If you're just okay on mecha, it's not gonna be for you. Moving on up. I started this one, A Journey Through Another World, Raising Kids While Adventuring. If you've got kids, watch it with them. It's TV PG. It was okay. But I only got through 4. I dropped it. I'm okay that I dropped it. Dungeon People was different. It's got a very unique look to it compared to...
Yeah.
And the base premise of this is the dungeon basically operates like a business in a way. It's got a dungeon master who is insanely powerful and very cutesy, and you'd never know that she was very
Evil?
not evil, but very, very good at her job and defends her dungeon with passion. And then the thief trying to figure out what happened with her father, who supposedly got down to her level. This one was an okay one. I liked it. I finished it. It's not going to get a second season, which is sad, because I do think it needs only one more season to really get a finish, even though the manga's still going. But it's definitely a different look, worthy of a one-time pass-through. Yeah, I would say yeah. If you're wanting something that's just a little off-kilter with the dungeon, sure. Wisteria 1 and Sword,
man.
must watch.
This was outstanding.
Yes, it was.
I knew this was supposed to be the standout because everybody was talking about it, but of course I ignored what everybody was saying because I didn't want to know anything till I got to myself. This was incredible. I cannot wait for more.
And we're getting more. We are getting a second season of it. It did get approved. And Kitty Bear's right. Technically, he isn't super powerful unknown. He knows he can parry everything. He doesn't realize how powerful his enemies are. Yeah.
Yeah.
As was put with the I parry everything, is typically the people have one thing and they can master it. They don't get the chance to have 5 things at very low level and master the very low level stuff, which makes him that much more powerful because he has mastered the 5 most basic of things and can do them in a repetitive motion that no one else can do. Very different with
there's some level of mystery as to what his real background is that they don't really get into, but there's probably more there. But yeah. Wanda, sorry, that was outstanding. I can't wait for more. I quit this thing halfway through. I couldn't stand
this thing. This one turned into a gigantic turd. It was awful.
Garbage. Just garbage. Complete garbage.
Yeah. So I did drop it, and I do need to lower its
I got about 4 episodes in, and I thought I'm going to start skipping ahead and see what this looks like. And I was like, oh, this goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. It's terrible.
The strongest magician.
It's no
good
story.
premise. Just terror. It just didn't work.
Yeah,
the writing turned out to be not very good. The animation took an absolute nosedive into the depths of hell. Yeah. Quality Assurance in Another World. This one,
I didn't watch this one.
This one was very different. It looked like it was going to be kind of cutesy, kind of laid back. It got dark quick, and it got violent, unexpectedly violent. The basic premise of this one is these VR MMO testers get stuck in the game. They can't log out, but they have their tablet to where they have their debugging tools, and so some of them start abusing the debugging tool. Well, the AI in the game is like, yeah, no, we gotta finish debugging the game, then you'll be able to get the hell out. But if you die in the game, or if you get stuck in the game, there's no way to know if the person actually lives outside of the game. Yeah, QA in Another World let me down. Some of the humor was juvenile and just bad. Yeah, there's lots of it that didn't. I think I was expecting more. I was liking it, but I still haven't finished the last episode, and I don't know if I want to. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm okay if I never finish this one. And I'm okay if it never gets another season. And it's sad because
I might watch it because everybody keeps telling me I have a bad taste in anime, and if I like it, god damn it,
well,
I have bad taste in anime.
In that case, that one might work for you. And then the last 4 that I had, and every single one of these, of course, is great. Wisteria 1 and Sword, getting a second season, perfect. Plus-sized elf. It's got absolutely horrible animation, but it doesn't have to have high animation. It's only 11 minutes long, and it's a comedy. I laughed my ass off at the whole entire thing. You get to see all sorts of waifus with the different style of waifus and
plus-size waifus.
I skipped this one.
This was hilarious. This was a lot of damn fun. Plus, I did do a little 1-minute compilation. It has gotten me 278,000 views.
Wow.
I have more views on one video than what CNN gets in a night. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Wow.
As I said, this is a show
your
that's,
audience. You know your audience.
Yes. Thick anime boobs. And the elf is thick. Yes. Yeah, the main elf is thick. The dark elf is thick. The dryad is thick. The Laiku is thick. The ogre is thick. The satyr is thick. The pig is thick. The only one that really isn't thick is the mer creature back there. Otherwise, you have the cyclops, the half-foot, or not a half-foot, but a halfling. And I don't even remember what the last one is. But all I'm going to say is each episode is only about 9 minutes long.
Yeah.
it's worth a one-time through just to laugh your ass off at it, because there is a lot of good laugh out loud stuff on it. Plus, waifus. Anyways,
Yeah. Waifus
and
are
then
good.
the two shows that I actually picked these up later. I didn't start with them, but I was told that I needed to watch it. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. So Aaliyah sometimes hides her feelings in Russian.
That was surprisingly great. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
It was way better than I thought it was. And I did try to listen to it in English, and I'm glad that they did have...
The dub was good. I liked the dub. It wasn't bad.
Compared to the Japanese, it just doesn't hit the same for me. But I'm glad that they, at the very least, for Aaliyah, had the person that did the voice acting for both the Japanese and for the English, that they could speak Russian too. So it keeps the continuity there. Although I will say the gal that does the Japanese and then speaks Russian, all I'm going to say, Dermy, is when you hear it in Russian, it's so good. It's a fun show. Yeah, this one is getting a second season.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's a fun one.
This one was an absolute surprise and a shock. No longer allowed in another world. Truck-kun was busy with this one, and it's not just a random truck-kuning for everybody that gets in there. Truck-kun has a purpose. This other world is trying to recruit people to help defeat a demon lord. So when they find somebody that they want to try and recruit or that they like, they'll truck-kun them into this world. Well, this one, they happened to get a guy who was trying to commit to double sideways with his lover. And he is the worst in the fact that he doesn't want to live. He feels like he has nothing to live for. Every single thought of his is how am I going to be able to leave this existence now? And because of that, he develops a relationship with poison. And the poison becomes his weapon, even though he doesn't want it to. And as it goes along, his latent ability comes out because he's a writer. So that explains part of the depression part. But with his writing, once he starts writing about someone, he can send them out of this world. Hence, they are no longer allowed in another world. I love this. This was fantastic. The OST to it is perfect. This one should get a second season. I hope it does, but I haven't seen anything on it. This is bingeable. This is an easy one to watch and a fun one to get into. Plus, you do get some cute girls and a little bit of fan service here and there.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see this one on here, so I'm gonna add this one. I don't think I mentioned last time, and Jeremy, I think you'd like this one because it's got semi-misery porn in it. Failure frame.
Yeah, I saw that. We talked about that.
We did. Okay, yeah.
It was one that I needed to look into.
Yeah.
If it's not, I hate to say this, if it's not on Crunchyroll, the chances are I'm not going to see it for a while.
God, you.
Because I have to be able to sit down and watch something. And when
you
it's on
lazy Jack Sparrow.
I forgot about that. Our protagonist in the other one, he has 1 hit point, gets hit by a plant weapon, plant dies, and he survives. Because of he keeps taking poison pills, trying to off himself by pilling himself, but his body develops such a high resistance to it that anything that tries and steals his life force, they get poisoned. So the first thing he kills is a gigantic plant that's trying to kill a cat girl, and he ends up killing it and saves the cat girl.
I mean, that's why it made me think of this one again, because this guy right here, his trick is poison. The main protagonist one is poison. And talk about somebody that wants to kill everything for being wrong and revenge, yet still sort of helping the people around him. I like this one. I hope it gets more of it because it could take a really necessary, and talk about your bustiness. Ooh. Oh, there's I call it, I'd say B-level fan service, a lot of cleavage, a lot of butt. A lot of tight dresses. It's good. And for the furries, there's a leopard girl for the furries if you want a leopard girl. So, but at the very end, you get a very nice dark elf at the very end. So that's always good stuff. But so last season was really good. I enjoyed, I would say, about 70% of everything I decided to watch. I'm looking forward to this season 2. What's going on right now? Of course, I've got another month and a half before I will start digging in to it. Let me see. Let's go over. Let's bring it up real quick. Here we go. Right now we are in the fall. I mean, of course, for me, my standouts, what I'm looking forward to the most, and I actually have to wait a whole nother season because it's only part 1. I'm looking forward to ReZero season 3. I'm looking forward to.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
We covered it. We covered season 1 a couple months ago on the show here. I love ReZero. I believe I've seen season 1 of this one. I'll have to go back and watch it because I don't remember. I don't remember.
You have to watch Dawn to Dawn. You have to watch Shangri-La Frontier.
I'm not doing Shangri-La Frontier. I'm not doing Shangri-La Frontier. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No.
I've been hearing good things about Dawn to Dawn.
Dawn to Dawn is fucking awesome. It's so good.
The only reason I haven't started watching it yet is I saw the intro and it's like I hate this intro. I hate it.
Skip the intro. Watch the show.
Yeah.
You won't regret it. Shangri-La Frontier is fantastic. You got to watch Shangri-La Frontier.
I love Ari Ferretta. I enjoy that one. I'm looking forward to season 3. I'm a big Don Machi fan. So season 5, very excited for that. And a few other things here. I like the Reincarnated Aristocrat. I enjoyed season 1 of that one. I'm looking forward to that season 2. I'm not going back to Bleach till it's done. I already know what happens. I'm just waiting till it's all over because I've read the manga.
The Most Notorious Talker is really good.
I've heard that's supposed to be pretty good.
It is really good. Yeah. You Are Miss Servant's really good. The ones up on the up level, they're not very good. I thought that one was going to be better than it was, and Blue Lock is absolutely horrid with its animation.
I don't do sports shows. I just don't anyway. So
unless it's a fight air, I'm not doing the sports.
Yeah.
2.5 Dimension Seductress is terrible.
The fan service is not. That's it. It's just not.
It doesn't exist in that show.
It doesn't exist. I went. It's like, oh, there's supposed to be fan service here. Oh, it does. It's not here. Great. Never mind. There's one reason I'm going to watch this show. It's not there. Fine.
Yeah. Demon Lord 2099. I dropped. It's not very good.
By the way, so there are some character things. I know I'm not going to touch this till it gets past where I stopped in the manga. Yeah. I love Fairy Tail, but
that's a binge one. You got to have it to binge.
I've read up to a certain point in the 100 Years Quest manga, but it's been like a year since I touched it, so I'm just going to wait until they get there. Anyway, but I'm looking forward to this season as a
Yakuza Fiance is pretty good. It's different.
So I'm looking forward to a few things in here. Mostly returning stuff is what I'm looking forward to. And, we'll see how winter turns out. What I got here? Oh, solo leveling. I liked solo leveling season 1. I didn't have a problem.
MF Ghost is really good too. And actually, I'll just run through my stuff real quick. It's pretty straightforward. Dragon Ball Daima, watch it. Ranma, watch the original. Then watch this newer one you can compare, but they've censored too much. You Are Miss Servant, really good. Shangri-La, must watch. MF Ghost, must watch. Yakuza Fiance, it's good. I like it, but I'm thinking I might drop it. There's something about it that's just a little too weird. Most Notorious Talker, really good. Loner Life in Another World, the dude just wants to be a loner, but none of his schoolmates will leave him the fuck alone. It's pretty good. Dawn to Dawn, absolute must watch. There is no skipping this one. There is no skipping Dawn to Dawn.
Okay, if you tell me to watch it, I'll start watching it.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. And the last one I have on here is Goodbye Dragon Life. It's not an isekai, but it's a reincarnation. A dragon that's been alive for 5,000 years finally is felled by a master swordsman or something. He's like, finally, I can finally go on to the next world. What happens? He gets reincarnated as a human while retaining all of his memories, while retaining his dragon power and everything else. I like it. It's got a very cute Lamia in it, and it starts off like it's going to be more of a slice of life type show, but it's picked up quite a bit. I like it. It's worth it. I'm keeping it. I do want to watch Rurouni Kenshin, but I need to finish the first season still.
I watched the original all the years ago, and I have Kenshin leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. I can never.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of those animes that didn't that deviated from the manga due to issues at the time?
Oh, I don't know about that. All I know is that the big Kyoto arc where he finally faces off against what's his name in the bandages, it was such a letdown of a fight. It was such a letdown of a fight that I was just
I saw that anime back when I was a kid. I watched it again, but then I didn't get into it because it was dated. But I did hear that it deviated from the manga because of issues with the original creator, and now they're going back to how the manga.
PDF filing.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So before Brandon has to go, let's get to our discussion topic here. So a couple days ago, we got I consider it unhappy news. Even though I am a Sony guy, it is my console of choice, stuff like that. I do not like it when larger companies decide to try and swallow up other companies.
Yeah, this is not good.
This is not good. I agree. This is not good.
This is beyond not good. I used to be okay with companies, working together, but this is bad. Big bad.
I mean, they're doing it for double reasons. They're doing it to get From Software, but they're also doing it to control manga and anime, and that's I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Manga, light novels, and anime, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And Sony can go do stuff to themselves in places
now. Unfortunately, this is Japan, so I don't know what the monopoly antitrust laws are like over there. So I don't know if there is any stopping this.
Yeah,
Kadokawa came out yesterday and said we can confirm we received a letter of intent from Sony. So it's happening, whether we like it or not.
So I don't like to use scoopers or anything like that. Always take it with a grain of salt. But supposedly the reason they're doing this is solely because of From Software. They're going to get everything. They want to get everything else as well, but they're doing it because all the Western development has been sucking.
If it was just From Software, I could say fuck you, but whatever. I mean, that's just a video game, and I can choose not to play a video game. But this could possibly affect the one new influx of entertainment I get 4 times a year. And that could suck.
And
it could.
And with actually before we do anything, let's get at anime guys. Brandon's opinion
go ahead.
on all this.
Yeah, this is going to be, if this is allowed to go through, they will be the dominant, the largest purveyor of anime studios, because Kadokawa has a lot of studios. They'll be the largest purveyor of light novels, and they'll be the largest purveyor of manga. As big as Viz and Shonen Jump and all those guys are, Kadokawa is not small. They have a ton, so it's definitely not good. And I do have to go. I do have another commitment that I do have to go to. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for having me here. I definitely appreciate it. To everybody over on my chat on the channel, thank you so very much for being here. Be sure to hop over, finish watching this episode over on the channel that I've got linked in the description. I believe it's Dermy's channel that I've got linked. And with that, gentlemen, thank you so very much. I definitely appreciate it. And you all have yourself a wonderful
You're
night.
always welcome, Brandon.
Yeah,
love hanging out with you, buddy.
Good night, Brandon.
Bye.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
All right. Is that on your side, Dermy?
Huh?
Is that on Super Chat on your side?
Oh, yeah, that's on my side.
Okay.
$5. $5 from Alpha Omega. Monopoly laws in Japan are weak AF, especially with I'm not going to be able to say
Keiretsu.
Keiretsu. Apparently, Kato approached Sony in order to stop Tencent and Kakako.
Oh wow! So
From buying
if that is true, that's like asking the retard. Because remember I broke this down earlier. Sony's the retard, the reactionary retard. Yeah. Tencent is evil. So it's the lesser of two evils. It's still not good.
It still isn't good.
I know.
None of this is good right now, and it's like one is like you're saying, one is pure evil, but I'd actually say Sony is just as evil, man. And this is me wondering because again, I'm using the scooper that Endymion had, and this is because I've been trying to find sources on this, and I'm curious how what's going to happen and like the overall effects. But I just started thinking, like, doesn't Sony own Crunchyroll?
Yes.
So then you get a hold of Kadokawa, that would be a monopoly on anime, and that would be a fucking disaster.
I mean,
and then you have, and I know this is specifically obviously Sony Japan this, but at the same time, Sony is no longer a Japanese company. Let's be honest here. They're no longer a Japanese company. They're an American company, which is the worst thing for Sony ever. And now you're going to have all this really good product underneath Sony, and they're just going to influence the West is just going to influence more anime. That is not a good outcome, and that's a bad decision.
I'm going to try and play the positive voice, not defending Sony. I'm not going that far, but to what you just said, I agree with you to an extent that Sony is no longer the mothership. Sony doesn't exist anymore, as I always like to refer to it. The mothership in Japan doesn't exist anymore. You said you mentioned that they're going to be westernized. Here's the thing. I think in the past 3 weeks now, more so even in the past week or so, look at entertainment trends, social media trends, discussion trends. There is now a distinct turn away from everything that has been poisoning Western entertainment. There's a distinct shift going on right now. Now, if this happens, what I'm kind of hoping would be this, in a sense. One, maybe the deal only goes through, maybe they only get from software. Maybe some laws that you can't have. The studio's part of it, because Crunchyroll isn't a studio, it's a distributor, but then, like you said, they corner the market then. Everything, because whether you like it or not, for non-Jack Sparrows out there, anime comes through Crunchyroll for the West. It comes through Crunchyroll.
And Sony would have a distributor and a bunch of production studios and productions.
Now,
and real quick, Alpha Omega said Kako. I'm not going to be able to say that. Kakao is Korean. Yeah, they can hate Japan. I will say I actually don't mind some of the Korean works that they put out.
I would be okay with Kakao because the Koreans they do good work.
They still do good work. And
they do good work.
I need to see season 2 of Tower of God still.
I
did like Tower of God.
I mean, this isn't good. I mean, now it says here the company, they've got a 70% stake in From Software. Kadokawa does. Like I said, I'm not a massive From Software guy. Yes, I have some software games. Some I didn't know were actually From Software at the time. That doesn't break me. You can take From Software. I don't really ever need to play another From Software game again. And gaming, it's a little different than the anime. But the controlling of the light novels, controlling of the manga, it's just I don't trust big.
This
corpo.
is more. I don't trust big corpo either, especially Sony right now. But this is also my conspiracy brain going around. Yeah. So let me take what Alpha Omega says at face value, and I have no reason to disbelieve what he's saying. Could this be a way of Kadokawa trying to go back to their censorship past? Because for people that don't remember, back in 2021, they tried to begin censorship. Their president came out and doing this whole censorship thing, and
I remember that.
Start trying to do all that stuff, and they got immediately rejected by everybody, including the Japanese government coming out there and smacking them around. So this is just my conspiracy brain going around. I don't want it to be a thing. I don't want that to be reality. Again, that's just conspiracy Jeremy going off. I could be completely wrong. I just don't like this.
I don't like this. No, I have not heard anybody like this. Nobody likes this. I mean, here's the thing I wonder though. Kadokawa is one of the most successful studios out there with everything they control, correct? I mean,
I would have to say more than likely, unless
then how are they this vulnerable to it? I gotta wonder, how are they this vulnerable to a takeover then?
I don't know.
I mean, listen, I know bare minimum, I know what it takes to start a takeover. You buy stock, you do this, you do that, you get investors on your side, and then you push for a takeover and you push for a vote and stuff like that. If they're strong, how is it that Sony's able to come in and do this?
Well, I'm starting like you brought that up.
Or 10-cent even. Or 10-cent.
Somebody, and I think it was on Brandon's side, brought up the Kadokawa the intro and stuff like that. That is a signature intro. That's a very beautiful intro, and
Yeah.
when you have
Every-
a Kadokawa thing.
A lot of times,
When was the last time I saw that?
Usually in a movie. It's usually I don't usually see it on a show. I usually see it in the movie. If I see it in the show, it's in the credits. But you usually see the Kadokawa with the coastline and the waves. It usually is when you're getting a movie. But usually you only see the Kadokawa in the credits of something.
I'm trying to see what old. Oh,
I mean,
God, they have
yeah,
Konosuba,
maybe
they have Rising of the Shield Hero, Day Day Live.
Yeah, I mean,
God,
everything
damn.
is they have their successes
ReZero.
their successes far outweigh their failures right now in the recent years. So I just wonder what's going on here. And I don't know. I don't think backing up a dump truck of money is the way it really works. But I mean, I don't know. This all I can hope is that the fears of the Western ideals, the woke Western ideals that have poisoned most of Western entertainment, the fact that we are seeing a drastic shift right now with the results of November 5th, that has been a catalyst for a lot of things. Just maybe, this is my positivity in this. Maybe, just maybe, nothing will happen. And it will just be, and at worst, things will get a little big corpo-fied, but for the most part, things will stay the way they are. Because I would rather having big corpo-fied, I can handle that in the end more than wokeism poisoning Japanese entertainment.
The problem. So, and I'm planning on talking about this probably a little bit tomorrow as well. We are seeing a shift, like hands down. You're seeing people rejecting some stuff. The problem is the true believers. The true believers usually are within middle management. Those people right now are doubling down. Your sweep, and I'm taking this to a different utilizing gaming right
You're
now.
Just using an example. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, as an example, your Sweet Baby Inc. groups, your people that are true believers of this ideology, they're doubling and tripling and quadrupling down. And yes, you're seeing a bunch of them start to say, hey, you actually really need to stop this. But they want this. They believe in this. They're going to keep pushing this stuff. And we're about to get a shitstorm of woke garbage because they think that.
Well, it's the last gasp. It's the last gasp.
It's the last gasp. And again, you always have to think of the woke stuff as a religion. You have to think of this as
it is. You're completely correct.
It's a non-theistic religious ideology. They just got a big L. So if you're in a religion and you're in this non-theistic cult, what do you do once you realize people were not agreeing with you? You don't
burn it all down.
You go like, you burn it all down. You also don't look inwards and think that maybe you're wrong. No, you think that you're not.
Which leads to burning everything down on the way out.
Yeah. You think you're not pushing hard enough. You think you're not bringing people close enough. So you got to go harder.
And the problem right now is the Japanese government's very weak right now. They're barely holding it together. They've just gone through dissolving of their parliament. Their coalition government wasn't working. So I don't know if the Japanese government is strong enough to put the kibosh on this.
We do have. Well, okay, so if we're going to get a little political, we do know...
Not so much political, but governments can get in the way of this stuff. And
governments can get in the way, but
sometimes that is a good thing. In this case, it would be a great thing.
And what I'll say is, let's remember that Japan is very pro-Trump.
Yeah.
Like, super pro-Trump. Shinzo Abe was a good friend of Trump's. They do have respect for Trump. Maybe with the fact that Trump did get elected would send a reverb down over into Japan, and maybe things would start shifting a little bit over in Japan because of that. I don't know. This is just me speculating, so there could be a white pill there. Mm-hmm. All I know for sure is Sony, fuck off. You might have made good games at one point in time. Adam might still like your consoles. Fuck off. I don't want you anywhere near my anime anymore.
I can separate my preference for Sony as a console to them as a corporation. Don't do this. I don't want you doing this. I am not some fucking pony who's like, yay, Sony, yay, control my life, yay. No, I don't want this. I like individual companies controlling their own destinies. Monopolies are not good. Mm-hmm. And not to get political, but I will say, to go where you said, maybe some of these Trump-friendly countries are about to see Trump go after big corpo. There are a lot of beliefs that a lot of big corpos are going to get broken apart in some ways. And maybe, because listen, anybody that pays attention knows that antitrust laws have not been enforced here in the West at all, when they should have been. So if somebody decides to say, okay, let's start enforcing antitrust laws and break some of this shit up, I would love nothing more than for YouTube to be separated from Alphabet. That would be glorious, because then suddenly they have to they have to stop throttling all of us to make all the money they can. Imagine that, Dermy. Imagine no throttle on any of our channels, because they need to get every bit of revenue they can from every single channel they can. Imagine that.
We'll talk about that more behind the scenes, because I do worry about some of that stuff and how it would impact everything. But can you pull up is Sony the Japanese Disney Corp from Ariel? Because that's a big no. Because the reality is Sony is not Disney. Sony and they're not Japanese anymore. Let's be honest. They are the American. They're American. They moved their headquarters.
Sony just makes
California.
shit.
They just make shit. Sony is no longer, like PlayStation and all that, they're no longer Japanese. They are American. So they can't be the Japanese Disney. And the closest thing to Japanese Disney is actually Nintendo.
And even then, Nintendo just jerks off in the corner. It doesn't care that you're watching.
Jerks off in the corner, eats glue, does not care. They're going to go do their own thing. And I know a lot of people like to bring up Nintendo has DEI stuff. A lot of companies have DEI stuff.
There's DEI everywhere. It's just levels of it's levels. It's the level of the cancer, and some of the cancer is dying. Some of it is persistent.
There was an article, like I need to find it again. I read those ESG reports from every company, and there's a lot of them there's some gaming companies that have high ESG profiles, like Sony. There's companies that have very low ESG profiles, like Nintendo, because they just adopt it, but they don't believe it. So,
well, we're going to have to see how this plays out. This is not, I mean, I wanted something else to talk about today, because I didn't have anything before this, and this is not a topic I really wanted to have happen. And another $2 for you, Jeremy.
Yeah, Alpha Omega tagged you twice on former Bird app, on the X, on Twix. Let me see. I did not have Twitter pulled up. That's why I was not looking. Well, I do. I have it pulled up on another tab. November 20th, the Japanese film directors released a joint statement opposing discrimination against. I'll look deeper into this, because one of these is like wokeness and Japanese film directors saying stuff. So I want to know who they are, because talk about LGBTQ stuff. So November 20th, 97 Japanese film directors released a joint statement opposing discrimination and LGBT individuals. The statement was issued on Transgender Day of Remembrance in honor of transgender people. I want to look deeper into that. And then the other one that you tagged me in is... it's talking about Japanese game development pushing the message and stuff, and having DEI programs and ESG programs, which, again, yes, there are going to be Japanese game companies that push this stuff and support this stuff.
Capcom.
It just depends. Yeah, Capcom's a good example. And I know Square Enix has some things over here or there. It's just, are they actually pushing it now? There
was that one retarded thing you brought up a couple months ago that was just stupid, and that went away.
Yeah, and you are also linking to the pro censorship stuff that on Square Enix that does not, nobody can link to that if it is there or not. But then there is like Sega, there's other stuff but also the other thing that people have to remember about Japanese companies, and we'll use Sony as an example. Sony Japan is different than Sony America. Whereas in Sony America now holds more power than Sony Japan. Sony Japan at one point was the predominant factor. So when you have
the mothership, which is I like to refer to, where
you
always thought, okay, Sony America's being a bitch, but the mothership will shut some of this shit down. If that's not the case anymore, then that sucks.
And another good example is like and I'm bookmarking your stuff, Alpha Omega, because I do want to look deeper into that. Another example is like Nintendo. Nintendo Japan, the mothership of Nintendo, doesn't really know what Nintendo America is doing. And sometimes when they do see it, they try to shut it down. But Nintendo America kind of just does what will do crazy shit that Nintendo Japan should be shutting down, but Nintendo Japan is worried about a bunch of other shit than actual what the America branch does. But like your Western branches of all these companies, because a good example that you showed in there was was like European branch of Sega. Your Western branches are the fucked up problems that you do need to reel in and put a stamp down.
Which is why a lot of companies divested themselves of their Western branches.
And we also do need to realize, like, yes, wokeness is seeping across the world. You got to find a way to put a stop to it, and I think the Japanese people don't really like it that much.
Their culture naturally is resistant to that kind of stuff. This is an unfortunate wait and see moment where we just have to wait and see if it happens. Let's hope for the least damage possible. There'll be damage. Let's just hope it's the least amount of damage. And
there's definitely going to be damage. There's already some, there's already some L's taken. Sony, biggest L. Capcom, big L. Bandai, god damn it.
No, I mean in terms of Sony. If they buy Kadokawa. I'm bringing it back to the original topic. Sorry, I wasn't clear on that. I hope that it's minimal damage. I hope that somehow, some way, what I'm hoping is that with the realignment of we'll just say ideological priorities in the world, that commie Marxism has suffered a massive loss right now, and normalcy is reasserting itself. I would rather have greed take over again with these corporates.
Oh, 100%, please, god damn it.
Because if greed takes over again, then they'll just make shit and not try to change anything.
Let greed and this is the weirdest thing. Let greed and cocaine take over again, please.
I would want Sony just be greedy corporal. That's why I call Sony the retard, because they fluctuate stuff, and EA is the soulless greedy corpo. I would much rather have them lean towards EA greedy soullessness than towards being DEI.
Yeah, let's argue with you about you nickel and diming us for our content. I would prefer that discussion over you destroying my entertainment.
All I have left, I said it a little bit ago, all I have left is anime. That's the only consistent news source of fresh entertainment I get. Where every 3 months it's, here comes things I've never seen before. I could take a break from rewatching all the old shit that I watch and watch something new and get a couple of weeks of fun. I wait until everything's done and then I watch. What?
Pull up what Alpha just said. Because he was just there. Yeah, and I forgot that you were just there, actually. I was just there last month. Woke is seen as a foreign thing. Companies buy into it for monetary and legal reasons. And Westaboos, which is weird to say, buy into it because America thing. That's it's sad that is our culture right now, because fuck that. But two, that does make more logical sense that companies buy into it because of the monetary belief.
Didn't we say earlier in the year that a lot of these companies took the investment because they thought it was just an investment thing? They didn't know that what really wokeism was. So,
we brought it up with Bandai. Bandai was saying, like, hey, we were told, like, we do this, we get more money. We do this, we get more money. Which is a decent, I think.
It's greed.
It is greed. So,
greed is good.
I hear what Alpha is saying, and when I see that, the legal thing, let's be fair, a lot of our ESG money, if you have to have these documents and these doctrines in there to even get the money, and all these companies want this money, it might just be greed that they're doing this. They're getting down that primrose path, and it probably won't stick.
The ESG is also drying up. It's
100%.
There are so many things going into the reshaping of the current status, and one of it is the ESG money's drying up. Also, now there is a literal cultural shift. I mean, it's a little off topic for us, because it's not anime. But as an example, HBO came out and said, was it yesterday or today? I think it was yesterday, where they
Was
said,
that the J.K. Rowling thing?
yeah, they said basically said, we don't care what J.K. Rowling's views on anything are. We're going to make Harry Potter.
That's
A year ago, Warner Brothers HBO would have been cowering in a corner to say something like that. Now they're upfront. They say we don't care.
I feel like it was just a year ago or something like that, where people were coming out going like, listen, we like the world she made, but she is an evil, awful bigot. We like the world she made. We're gonna make the world work in the world that she made, but we're gonna denounce her.
Yeah, so that is the base example right now in the news, in the entertainment news, where you can put a pin in and say, here is a corporate cultural shift, an entertainment shift, where they're saying we don't care what the transies want anymore. We are not going to bend the knee to these weirdos.
And to give people more context about this is a topic of a video that I'm going to be putting out tomorrow on Assassin's Creed, but we have Ubisoft executive actually coming out and saying, yeah, in order to make money, you need to sell like 10 million copies now per game. And when you hear that, there was probably a time where they didn't need to sell that much to make the game because of the ESG money. But if they actually need to make profit now by selling that many copies, that means there's something drying up that they are not telling you about.
At the same time, interest rates and inflation were lower, which means you could make more money on your copies. Now, because of the way things are, you need to sell more to make more to hit your break-even points. I'll bring it since Alpha Omega is giving us details. I'll bring this up here. Kishida made it mandatory for companies to be involved in ESG in 2022-23. After the G7 summit, Ishiba doesn't give a crap about it and supports gay marriage, separate surnames for spouses. Is that the current prime minister?
That might be the current prime minister. Here's the thing, though. Okay, so make it mandatory to be involved with ESG. Okay, that money's drying up,
and that's already 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't.
And I'm not trying to diminish anything that you're saying, Alpha Omega. You're bringing up rightful red flags that are like, hey, keep an eye out, red flags. Like these are things to watch. I'm not trying to say Japan is free from this stuff. No,
we're not putting them on a pedestal. What I'm trying to do on my end of the discussion is I'm just trying to keep at least some positive train of thought.
Not go full fractured.
Yeah, I'm not going black pill. Yeah, we're not going fracture pill. We want to try and maintain.
We must believe in the waifus. We must believe the waifus can power us.
I have to believe the world is shifting back towards greed. Because everybody needs money.
And it's not a one-to-one comparison, but if you look into how some of these VTuber companies act, and you see how much money these VTuber companies are pulling in, especially back over in Japan, it's like, God, can ESG actually even take hold? Because they get a lot of money. Because people know what they like. Idol culture is still a big thing over there.
It's huge. I mean, you would not think it would continue in the modern day like this, but it does. What? No. For some reason, my Wi-Fi connection is lost. I don't know how or why. I'm not doing anything. Whatever. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't understand how in the modern day it does, but it does. It's still huge, and it's its own. It is rightfully Idol is now. I would say it's its own industry. It doesn't even need the separate parts from anime or other pop and stuff like that. It's just Idol. And the VTuber thing is wild. You would understand that way better than I would, because these VTuber characters, some of them even just complete AI characters, are huge.
And also Alpha Omega, your latest thing, yeah, they're in it for the money, which is again drying up, or because Daddy America told them to. Yeah, and if Daddy America becomes Trumpy America,
very orange.
Very, very orange. Things would change. And again, what you're bringing up as well is issues that we need to watch out for. I do appreciate that.
What Alpha Omega is bringing us here to just to square it all around and bring this around to the end of it. He's giving us as it has been. He's giving us the numbers, the equations in the previous equation set. A new parenthesis is opening now, and I'm trying to look on a more positive end. That I'm thinking, and there's enough cultural shift. I'm thinking there's enough headwind change, and I think the fact that it is pretty apparent that ESG wokeism, SJWism, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't make money. It doesn't make money.
Progressive intersectionalism is what.
Yeah,
I usually call it.
throw those tags on there too. It doesn't make money, and therefore, if it doesn't make money, we're going back to a world where we can live in, where people will say, "Okay, you don't bring in the money, you're fired, you're done. We're going to what made Daddy money. Bring Daddy his money."
And Philip Dimmick, yes, the three biggest ones did sign on to NAO, and that's Chinese Corpo. It's still weird. We'll see how that all plays out. There's a lot of weird stuff within VTuber culture, and like how big they can fucking get. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
and also
that's a conversation I have no ability to have.
I am working with some people to do some VTuber discussions.
Yeah.
Another thing is like the corpos are weird, and if you want to get deeper and deeper into like VTuber culture, it's like, do you want to be indie or V2? I'm just giving you a broad brush. You have to start talking about indies versus corpos. Corpos rake in a lot of money, so do some indies rake in a lot of money. It's just how you do it. It's a question. It's also a question that some everyday YouTubers have to think about. Do you sign on to this company that could help you out, like a talent agency, or do you stay independent? It is a long discussion that gets more deeper and stuff, but VTubers just raking that cash, and it's interesting to see how that works. But you also have to be good and entertaining. You can't just have VTuber image there. You have to be good. You have to be entertaining, and you do get some stuff. Was it a VTuber canceled, then fired for supporting Taiwan a few years ago?
That's the biggest taboo you can do in China. That's one of the biggest taboos you can do.
I believe so. I don't know. I need to look deeper into that one.
Yeah. Either way,
if you think anime news it can be big and crazy sometimes. VTuber news, one moment you're looking at one thing, next moment you're looking at another thing.
Either way, right now is let's all just hope and pray that minimal damage happens if Sony does end up buying Kadokawa. Let's hope in the end they care more about getting From Software, and they'll maybe let whoever they leave in charge of Kadokawa just keep doing what they do. That is a possibility. I think it's a fair, because it's such a big thing. Because let's be honest, as profitable of having Crunchyroll as a distributor and Kadokawa and all its studios would be, Sony really cares about From Software because that's where the money is. Video games are where the money.
Yeah,
they care about From Software, and since they can't just take From Software, they're going for the whole pie. Maybe, just maybe, we are doing maybe I'm doing a classic Adam overthink, and maybe just maybe they'll let Kadokawa just keep doing what Kadokawa does. Hey, you know what? Don't hurt the golden goose. It keeps making money. Just leave it alone.
Hopefully,
maybe that somebody's got to be positive here. It might as well be me. I might as well be the one to hold that positive thought.
I'm usually the wait and see guy because I don't. There's sometimes where I have enough information to be able to make a statement now, but
it just happened. It's only been 3 days.
I know, but so much so much things that I can't predict or think. I need to see a little bit more.
And this could go on for months. This could go on for months to a year.
It could go on for a couple
and then it could fall apart. Then it could fall apart.
How long did the Sony Crunchyroll thing take? I don't remember.
I think it took at least a year. I think it didn't happen for a long time.
I think it was a year and a half or something like that.
It took a while. And things. And listen, a lot's going to happen in the next year. Lots going to happen.
It's gonna feel like it flies by, but there's gonna be something happening for a while. Yeah. The next couple of years it's gonna be a lot.
All right, let's tie that.
We can think at least positively. Maybe
I'm not gonna black pill. I'm not gonna black pill.
I'm gonna you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna orange pill. Trump's gonna go everywhere. YMCA across the world, baby.
All right. You got anything else you want to talk
about? I had something, but it's from 2 weeks ago. It's no real point to bring it up anymore.
Forget it.
It was that the One Piece live action dude.
We're gonna
well,
yeah.
we're beyond
Listen,
that point.
we're beyond it. And we talked about it already in other things. I already talked about that in other streams. So yeah, it's and listen, we're gonna give you guys plenty of One Piece action coming up very soon.
I'm gonna actually. I watched all of season 1. Was not a fan. I'll watch season 2.
Anyway, all right, then looks like we're done. Jeremy, what's the rest of the week look like for you?
Rest of the week looks like for me is obviously I have a video coming out tomorrow talking about. I'll tease it now. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Their executive producer has specifically said, one of their producers and executives have specifically said that the AAA games need to sell 10 million copies to break even now.
That kind of due to math that our good friend Dre gave me on Roundtable, that kind of lines up. And
if you start thinking deeper about how, especially with Ubisoft and how Shadows is looking up, I don't think they're going to make it.
No.
So we got that. Well, I got a video on that coming out about noonish tomorrow. Fridays are usually weird for content anyways. But then of course we got Ballbusters tomorrow night with Jack Tarlad coming on to hang out with us and spend some time. So check that out. And then Saturday we're doing another Ballbusters gaming where we will be playing Among Us again.
I am gonna murder you so bad if I get the chance.
I feel like we just play Among Us on Ballbusters gaming, really.
Well, we did it during your 24-hour stream. Last time we did it. That was the last time we did it.
So,
but dude, I wasn't it enough times last time, and it was rough. We only had 9 people during a 24-hour stream, and that's not enough. You need the full 15 to make it nasty.
I don't think we're gonna have it this time, but hopefully we can.
Well, let's reach out to more people.
I need to reach out to a few more people. I do have Vagabond and Sleazy okayed. I have to need to reach out to some more guys. We'll do that. And I just hope to hope and pray that if I'm not it and you die right away, people don't start trying to pin it on me because the Jews are dead first.
Dude, I got you so bad with that one. When I blamed
the Jews are all dead. It's obviously him. No, it's not.
Anyway, all right. As for me, I'll be on Ballbusters tomorrow night. Then Saturday, you'll get my perspective of the Among Us stream. But before that, Jed and I will be doing Saturday Night Drive-In, 6 p.m. Eastern. I don't want to announce our guest because Jed hasn't told me it is if he's coming or not, if he's nailed it down. It is a guest that can have a last-minute change due to his schedule, but I will let you guys know. Probably Ballbusters if it is happening. But we are doing the second Hornblower series, The Fire Ships. So join us for that one, 6 p.m. Eastern on my channel and Jed's channel. Then I'll be on Saturday for Among Us. Then Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Round Table, where we will talk about the fun things. And then you can find me on Monday with my next review of Dune Prophecy, Episode 2. A lot of people are angry with me over that, Dermy. A lot of people didn't like what I had to say on the first episode. Combination of people. It's interesting. And you know what? It's not going to stop me from keep going. You can do it.
I didn't care. So
this is my I don't give a fuck face. That's what that is. So do that, and then Mellow Mondays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Try to chill out, have a good time. And Kaylee Scope brings it up right here. She asks the question: what time are you starting my 24-hour stream? So yes, I am doing next week a 24-hour stream, 12 to 12, beginning 12 p.m. Wednesday, the 27th. So you can tune in here. It'll be a mix of gaming, mix of discussion. The Discord will be open to a lot of people, so people are going to come and go. There is no set schedule for the games, and we're gonna make some interesting memories. I'm sure a lot of stuff. And will I be able to stay awake? I think so. I'm pretty good at that, staying awake when I don't want to. It's going to happen, and we'll try to have some fun. Should be a good time, and I hope to see everybody there on my channel, The Renaissance Nerd, if you're watching on Dermy's channel, or if you're still watching over on Brandon's channel. Other than that, thank you all for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. Hit those like buttons, subscribe to the channels, and we'll see you guys next. Oh, wait. We didn't choose next month's anime yet. I almost forgot.
Oh, shit, we haven't.
I have 3. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Number 1, season 2 of a comedy we've already watched. we started down the path, so we got a season 2. A light fantasy anime. It's actually in the intro. There's a clip of it in the intro. And then we have a mecha show, a 24-episode mecha show from 2017. I watched it way back then. It's very unique, kind of. I don't think it's a type of mecha show that you have ever seen. And you were a youngin' then, not quite savvy in the ways of Jack Sparrow. So I don't think you've seen this one. So there are your choices.
See, it's Christmas, so.
And none of these are Christmas oriented. These are just
Yeah.
chose shit.
Let's go to the mech.
Heavy Object. You ever seen that one? It's unique, and and it's got a waifu in it. The commander, she got tits bigger than your head.
I've seen pictures. I don't think
It's
I've
a
watched
very
this one.
unique mecha. Here's the thing: basically, wars are a thing of the past, and every country or every conglomerate, or whatever, builds these giant, massive, indestructible mechs, and they battle it out for domination, for control of territory. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's a unique type of mech show, and I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it.
I might. I've seen some weird shit in my time.
It's good and good characters, and like I said, the commander who's in charge of our protagonist crew, she got them titties. She got them titties. She is waifu material right there. So yeah, so we're doing Heavy Object now for December. And in January, we are temporarily suspending the choice system. Dermy will resume in February by making me choose something. But in January, we're going to be having our first special episode where we are going to dedicate not just a season, but an entire discussion for a large chunk of the series. And that would be One Piece. We're going to put a panel together, not just me and Dermy, a full panel. Could be 6, could be 7, could be 8. Going to put a big panel together, have a lot of fun discussions about everything leading up to the time skip. That's from East Blue through Marineford. So
we're going to see how far we can. We're going to try to get as far in as we possibly can.
And it's going to be wide ranging with jumping around. I already have I have one opening question. After we get through introductions in the general, how did you like One Piece? Where did you first get into it? I have a single question that I know is a grenade that I'm going to willingly toss. I know it's a grenade. I know what's going to happen, and I do it willingly.
I know. I feel like I know what.
Oh, you damn sure you probably know what it is, but don't ask me. Just leave it let's leave it hanging. You probably know exactly what it's going to be. So we're going to do that anyway. So we're going to try to put together a fun and unique panel, and hopefully everybody that we reach out to will respond.
I can already say that one person is confirmed. Brandon.
Yeah. Okay, Brandon. Yes, Brandon.
Yeah.
I think I can guess a couple others we're going to ask because we know that they've reached that point. They finally arrived at the cutoff point. So
Static's going to be mad.
So that we're looking forward to. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can say now, and also for December, we'll be a couple weeks early because I've also we're going to be literally one. It's literally Christmas is on. It's literally 2 days after Christmas, so we're not going to do anything that week. It's off limits. So it'll be Anime Odyssey will be December 18th. This
18th?
Week.
That's a Wednesday.
18th. Sorry, 19th. Sorry, I was going to
19th.
say I meant 19th because we'll do it then. I have a new show starting on December 12th. We've got a new show starting, new monthly show. Starting then, we'll talk about that later. But then the Anime Odyssey for January will be on January 30th. So we're getting close to New Year's, but we're not quite there. So we can get it in before it happens. So mark your calendars, guys. That should be a real fun one. It should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it because I love my One Piece. And it'll be all things One Piece. We'll probably talk a little live action too, because there might be news of it by then. They might, because they've already started shooting. They might have stuff. So anyway, thank you, everybody. Now we can outro out. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate each and every one of you. Subscribe to the channel, hit those like buttons, and we'll see you next time. Until then, take it easy and fuck you, Dermy.